Final Fantasy 15 has been in development for over 10 years, and in that time it's changed a lot. The checkered development of the game has left some players worried about the final product, that it might be a disappointment, or it might be a bunch of ideas tied loosely together without direction. We're pleased to report this isn't the case. After a few hands-on sessions with the game, we've compiled our favourite 15 things about Final Fantasy 15. Enjoy. In this game, you've got to hit your enemies where it hurts. Smack an enemy's horn, say, and you can break it and it'll fall off. This will make certain enemies unable to use certain attacks or stagger them, making them vulnerable. Think Monster Hunter. The more precise you are in combat, the easier you're going to make it for yourself. You could just hold down dodge or attack if you're not into the whole meaningful damage thing, but if you do that, combat isn't going to be fun or very effective. There are frame-based links, startup times, stuns, dodges, you name it. In the demos we've played so far, Duscae and Platinum, this feature was clearly half finished. The end result is far more fluid and comprehensive. There's no real in-depth tutorial though, so learning the best links, weapon combinations and inputs is down to you. But that's how you learn things like Tekken or Soul Calibur, so we can definitely get on board with it. So here's the deal. The levelling up system is a bit like the sphere grid from Final Fantasy X, albeit more simple. Characters gain experience after you complete missions or finish fights out in the wild, and they hit a campsite and all the stored experience is dumped on them. The levelling system is then broken down into very easy to read sections, and each partition lets you level up specific skills, whether that's unlocking characters' limit breaks, making them more proficient defenders, or just increasing their attack damage. It's as deep and satisfying as you'd expect from a Final Fantasy game. At the risk of oozing out spoilers, we can't tell you the extent of which guest characters will join your party or how many there are, but rest assured there are a few instances of gaining bonus crew members throughout the game. Each character comes with their own special moves and cross attacks that can be devastating in the right situations too, and there's just as much back and forth dialogue with these characters as there is with your regular crew. From both a UI standpoint and a narrative one, Noct Smartphone is a godsend. We'd have quest givers call us on the device and give us more information pertaining to our current objective. It's a more realistic and less cumbersome way of getting all the gamey stuff out of the way while still characterising NPCs. It also informs the design elements of the game, like the map and the UI and the pause screen and so on, unifying it all quite nicely. The game is brimming with puns. I love that, but I'm well aware they may not be to everyone's tastes. Still, it's more about the detail the game's writers and voice actors have gone into that impresses us. There's a quip or a joke or a pun for just about every interesting landmark you spot, every enemy you drive past, every small event that unfolds. It never really feels hammy or forced either, especially when it comes from Ignis, who is just so wonderfully dry. We'd put the interactions and the level of scripting on the same level as Uncharted 4, and that's saying something. Don't get too excited by this. The choices you have in dialogue only seem to work on a superficial level. This isn't Mass Effect or Life is Strange. Still, you can influence who gets experience and how during some interactions. You could be sarcastic to someone and Ignis says something like "careful now" or something equally as smarmy, and you play it safe. If you take his advice, Ignis will get a little XP boost after the interaction. It's a thoughtful way of turning character relationships into a viable gameplay mechanic, even if it's only a small one. This one takes a bit of explaining. Magic in Final Fantasy 15 is called Elemency, and you get magic from enemy drops or nodes on the map. Think draw points in Final Fantasy 8. These can then be used to craft magic. You get 3 elemental slots, thunder, blizzard and fire, and the more energy of each type you commit to one magic flask, the more powerful the spell will be. But then you can add anything from your inventory to the flask and modify the effect too. So it'll still do mad damage, but you could also give the spell quadcast if you wanted, or healcast for example. Items you harvest from kills, healing items and other tools in your inventory all affect magic differently, so you're rewarded for experimenting. When you've crafted your spell, you'll have to equip it from one of your 4 weapon slots, so it'll dumb down combos somewhat, but it's a worthy trade-off. Like in the Platinum demo, you'll then be able to hurl it at your enemies, but be careful, magic can do friendly fire damage too. So you'll have to take time and aim if you don't want to give Prompto, Ignis or Gladio some nasty burns. We managed to make Thundaga pretty early into our demo, and we thought we were so clever, until we ended up killing our whole team by accident. Oops. We've been wondering about this for weeks before we played the game, but we're happy to confirm you can change the outfits of each character basically whenever you want. So far, we only had the Royal Guard outfits, the default ones, and some casual wear, but there are slots in the menu for more. The clothes also get dirty in combat if you get thrown all around the place, so they seem to react dynamically with the environment as well. It's all about the little details in this game that really make us smile. This is a big one. Square Enix has managed to get music from every game that can be played through the car's radio. Initially, you've got a pretty small collection of songs you can cycle through, but this grows as you find CDs in shops around the world. We made a beeline for Final Fantasy VIII CD and drove to the first dungeon listening to Find Your Way. It gave us goosebumps. It's unclear whether we'll get every track from every game, but you can buy multiple CDs per title, so at least you'll get the hits, as it were. Just like in previous Final Fantasy games, Chocobos can be used as a means of transport, if you get bored of the car, that is. This time around though, the birds are animated so lovingly, and their quays and squawks make them so much more than just vessels to get around the world. They have idle animations, they chill out with you when you're resting at camp, and they can dash through more dangerous parts of the world unchallenged. Final Fantasy veterans will be pleased.
Better keep up!
Prompto is your game's self-appointed photographer as you wander through this plush world, and he doesn't take that role lightly. Whenever you stop off to rest at a campsite or a hotel, you'll get to browse through pictures he's taken since the last time you bedded down. Some of these are scripted. We spoke to Sydney, for example, and could see him snapping away. Everyone will get that picture. But the rest are totally random. It's impressive how the algorithm works to make these snapshots out, because the majority of them are going to be unique to you, and you can save up to 100 of them to peruse at a later date. In all the footage we've seen so far, the Regalia has shown itself as a car that can have a solid colour or special skins applied to it. Well, there's so much more you can do. You can buy decals and slap them all over it, including Moogle and Cactuar patterns. You can customise the colour of the interior, the exterior, choose what wheels the car has, tint the glass. The customisation options are pretty much in line with what you can do in GTA 5, albeit you can't alter the performance of the car. As we were wandering around, we began to notice strange drawings scattered here and there. They look like they were drawn by a child, and they tend to relate to secondary characters in the game. This could just be miscellaneous fluff, but the fact the camera snaps to them and makes you examine them could suggest there's more to it. It got us thinking of the UFO questline in Final Fantasy VIII, or the hidden coordinates in 10, or the Zodiac Spear in Final Fantasy 12. Will it turn out to actually mean anything though? I guess we'll only find out when the game finally launches on November 29th on Xbox One and PS4. Those were our 15 favourite things about Final Fantasy 15. Thanks for watching everyone, and if there's anything you're excited about too, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.